On March 15, 2024, at precisely 7:23 local time, the tranquil Pacific Ocean transformed into a high-stakes electromagnetic battlefield where technological supremacy would determine the fate of a $127 million narcotics interdiction operation. The USCGC Stratton, a cutting-edge Legend-class maritime interdiction vessel, pierced through the maritime coordinates at 12 degrees north, 90 degrees west, a notorious corridor controlled by the Sinaloa Cartel's sophisticated drug trafficking infrastructure. In this moment, Lieutenant Commander Sarah Rodriguez and her specialized 12-member LEDET team stood at the razor's edge of modern maritime warfare, where advanced sensor networks, autonomous reconnaissance drones, and encrypted tactical communication systems would transform a routine maritime patrol into a complex technological chess match against one of the most adaptable criminal networks in the Western Hemisphere, a battle where artificial intelligence, electronic warfare systems, and human tactical expertise would collide in an unprecedented demonstration of strategic complexity. What was about to unfold would challenge everything naval commanders understood about maritime security in the 21st century. The pre-dawn hours of March 15, 2024, transformed the Eastern Pacific into a complex chessboard of maritime surveillance and strategic interdiction. The USCGC Stratton, a Legend-class cutter representing the pinnacle of U.S. Coast Guard technological capabilities, navigated through coordinates 12 degrees north, 90 degrees west, a region notorious for narcotics trafficking routes controlled by the Sinaloa Cartel. Its AN/SPS-73 radar system, a marvel of electronic warfare technology, conducted continuous sweeps across 250 nautical miles. Its phased array antenna, meticulously scanning the oceanic landscape for any anomalous signatures. Lieutenant Commander Sarah Rodriguez, a 15-year maritime interdiction veteran, monitored the tactical display with calculated precision, her experienced eyes parsing through layers of electronic data streams generated by multiple surveillance platforms. The autonomous reconnaissance drone deployed alongside the Stratton provided real-time thermal imaging, its advanced sensors penetrating the maritime environment's visual limitations. Weather conditions presented a moderate challenge. Moderate sea state, occasional cloud cover, and intermittent atmospheric interference that demanded heightened technological vigilance. The operational context was clear. Interrupt a significant narcotics transportation route that had evaded interdiction for months, potentially representing a $127 million disruption to the Sinaloa Cartel's maritime logistics. Every sensor, every system, every trained professional on board was calibrated for a single objective: detect, track, and ultimately neutralize the drug trafficking threat lurking somewhere in the vast oceanic expanse. At 7:23 local time, the electronic warfare intercept systems triggered a cascade of alerts that instantly transformed the routine patrol into a high-stakes operational scenario. Encrypted communication burst fragments, characteristic of Sinaloa Cartel maritime communication protocols, flickered across the tactical communication networks. The P-8 Poseidon Maritime Patrol aircraft, circling overhead at 20,000 feet, immediately began correlating the communication signatures with its comprehensive threat database. Rodriguez's LEDET team, 12 specially trained maritime interdiction operators, initiated their pre-planned tactical response sequence, moving with the synchronized precision of a well-oiled military unit. Each team member, equipped with advanced tactical communication systems and specialized maritime interdiction training, represented a critical component of the complex operational mechanism. The thermal imaging cameras mounted on the autonomous reconnaissance drone began identifying potential vessel heat signatures, cross-referencing them against known maritime traffic patterns. Electronic countermeasure systems activated, creating a sophisticated defensive and analytical umbrella around the Stratton. The ship's advanced sensor fusion capabilities merged data from satellite surveillance, airborne reconnaissance, and shipboard systems, constructing a progressively detailed operational picture. Sophisticated algorithms processed communication fragments, vessel movements, and environmental data, searching for predictive patterns that might reveal the cartel's maritime movement strategies. The maritime gray zone, that ambiguous international space where traditional rules of engagement blur had become an intense theater of technological warfare, with each side deploying increasingly sophisticated electronic and intelligence capabilities. As the communication intercepts continued to pulse through the tactical networks, a faint but distinctive radar signature emerged on the extreme edge of the Stratton's tracking system, a potential game-changing moment that would define the entire maritime interdiction operation. The signature bore hallmarks of a mid-sized maritime vessel, consistent with known Sinaloa cartel transportation methods, likely a modified commercial cargo ship or a sophisticated long-range maritime transport platform designed to blend into standard maritime traffic. Lieutenant Commander Rodriguez's team initiated a complex series of verification protocols, cross-referencing the emerging signature with satellite tracking data, historical trafficking route intelligence, and real-time communication intercepts. The autonomous drone adjusted its flight path, preparing to provide high-resolution visual confirmation of the potential target. On board the Stratton, weapon systems remained powered but not actively targeted, adhering to strict maritime engagement protocols that demanded absolute confirmation before any kinetic response. The technological dance of detection, verification, and potential interdiction represented the cutting edge of modern maritime law enforcement, a delicate balance of advanced sensor technologies, strategic intelligence, and calculated human decision-making. Each passing moment increased the operational tension, with the potential narcotics interdiction promising to disrupt a significant transportation route that had long evaded international enforcement efforts. The maritime environment, seemingly calm and expansive, now vibrated with the subtle electromagnetic signatures of an impending confrontation. And just as the last communication fragment dissolved into electronic noise, the radar signature began to crystallize. Something was definitively approaching, and the first critical moments of what could become a pivotal maritime interdiction were about to unfold. The first confirmed contact emerged through a complex series of electronic verifications that transformed the maritime interdiction operation into an intense technological chess game. The USCG CSTRA-TTON's data fusion system simultaneously processed multiple information sources, thermal imaging from the autonomous drone, encrypted communication signals, and intercepted naval movement patterns. The suspected vessel, initially identified as a modified medium-sized cargo ship, displayed technical characteristics consistent with Sinaloa cartel transportation methods. The electronic signatures suggested an operational sophistication beyond traditional maritime trafficking patterns, indicating potential technological adaptation to evade surveillance systems. Lieutenant Commander Sarah Rodriguez coordinated the operation with surgical precision, utilizing tactical protocols specifically developed for high-risk interdictions in international waters. Every movement was calculated, every decision grounded in multi-layered intelligence from various sources. The encrypted tactical communication systems allowed instantaneous coordination between the LEDET team, the P-8 Poseidon aircraft, and ground command centers, creating an operational network that transcended traditional maritime communication limitations. The Stratton's advanced electronic scanning sensors penetrated the maritime environment, gradually revealing the contours of the narcotics trafficking operation unfolding before them. The tactical escalation gained momentum when the electronic warfare system identified communication patterns suggesting defensive preparations by the cartel. Integrated artificial intelligence algorithms within surveillance systems began mapping potential escape routes, anticipating strategic movements of the suspected vessel. The operational environment's complexity demanded a multidimensional approach. Detection was not enough. Understanding the target's intentions and capabilities was critical. The autonomous reconnaissance drone adjusted its trajectory, providing high-resolution images that revealed crucial details about the vessel's configuration and equipment. Electronic counterintelligence equipment was activated, creating an information saturation environment that would complicate any cartel attempts at counter-surveillance. Lieutenant Commander Rodriguez observed every detail with absolute concentration, aware that the slightest failure could compromise the entire operation. The maritime conditions, initially favorable, began presenting additional challenges, with current variations and visibility requiring constant recalibration of tracking systems. The technological dance between hunter and hunted played out in electromagnetic frequencies, each side probing for vulnerabilities, each movement laden with strategic implications. The critical moment of the operation approached with an almost palpable intensity. The Stratton's tactical communication systems detected a series of fragmented transmissions, suggesting defensive preparations by the Cartel vessel. It was evident that this was not a simple drug shipment, but a highly structured logistical operation. Maritime interdiction protocols were activated at maximum configuration, with the LEDET team preparing for potential confrontation scenarios. The P-8 Poseidon aircraft adjusted its altitude and positioning, ready to provide immediate tactical support if necessary. The Stratton's weapon systems remained in a state of readiness, without active targeting, rigorously following international maritime engagement protocols. The operational tension reached its peak, with each second representing a critical window of decision and action. Surveillance technologies converged to reveal not just the vessel's location, but potentially unravel an entire complex cartel operations network. The ocean, seemingly calm, had transformed into the stage of an operation that could redefine narcotics' interdiction patterns. Sophisticated sensor arrays continued their relentless electronic interrogation, peeling back layers of maritime deception. And then, just at the moment when the operation seemed to be following its planned course, a new and unexpected element began to manifest in the electronic margins of tracking, promising to completely transform the mission's trajectory. The maritime interdiction operation entered its most critical phase as the U.S. Coast Guard's technological arsenal unleashed its full capabilities against the Sinaloa cartel's maritime infrastructure. Lieutenant Commander Sarah Rodriguez activated the Stratton's advanced electronic warfare systems, creating a comprehensive electromagnetic umbrella that would neutralize potential communication and defensive capabilities of the target vessel. The P-8 Poseidon Maritime Patrol aircraft initiated a sophisticated electronic suppression protocol, utilizing advanced signal jamming technologies that would systematically disrupt the cartel's communication networks. Autonomous reconnaissance drones deployed sophisticated electronic countermeasures, creating multiple layers of tactical interference that would prevent any coordinated defensive response. The LEDET team, comprising 12 highly trained maritime interdiction specialists, prepared for potential kinetic scenarios, their specialized training covering everything from non-lethal intervention to high-intensity maritime confrontations. Thermal imaging systems and advanced sensor arrays continued to provide real-time intelligence, creating a comprehensive operational picture that merged satellite surveillance, airborne reconnaissance, and shipboard tracking systems. The technological complexity of the operation represented the cutting edge of modern maritime law enforcement, a delicate balance between overwhelming technological superiority and precise, controlled intervention. The cartel's response triggered a complex series of electronic and tactical maneuvers that transformed the maritime engagement into a high-stakes technological confrontation. Encrypted communication fragments suggested the vessel was attempting to activate secondary communication protocols, likely pre-planned contingency strategies designed to evade interdiction. The Stratton's electronic warfare systems began a systematic deconstruction of these communication attempts, using advanced algorithmic analysis to predict and neutralize potential escape or defensive strategies. Thermal imaging and radar tracking revealed subtle changes in the target vessel's movement patterns, slight course corrections that indicated awareness of the interdiction operation. The autonomous reconnaissance drone adjusted its positioning, providing continuous high-resolution visual and thermal tracking that would eliminate any possibility of the vessel's escape. Lieutenant Commander Rodriguez coordinated the multi-platform response with surgical precision, each tactical decision informed by real-time data fusion from multiple intelligence sources. The operational environment had transformed into a complex electromagnetic battlefield where technological capabilities would determine the mission's success. The final stages of the tactical deployment represented a culmination of technological superiority and strategic preparation. The LEDET team prepared boarding protocols, their specialized maritime interdiction equipment ready for potential close-quarters engagement. advanced communication encryption systems ensured secure coordination between shipboard teams, aerial reconnaissance, and ground command centers. The P-8 Poseidon aircraft maintained a strategic overwatch position, its advanced sensor packages providing continuous intelligence that would support potential boarding operations. Thermal imaging and electronic signature analysis suggested the target vessel was carrying approximately 4.2 tons of cocaine, a shipment with an estimated street value of $127 million. The technological and operational complexity of the interdiction represented more than a simple drug seizure. It was a strategic disruption of a sophisticated narcotics transportation network. Lieutenant Commander Rodriguez knew that this operation could potentially dismantle a significant portion of the Sinaloa cartel's maritime logistics infrastructure. As the final moments of approach began, the electromagnetic battlefield reached a crescendo of technological tension. And then, in the briefest of moments, something unexpected began to emerge, a potential complication that would challenge everything they had planned. The maritime interdiction operation reached a critical inflection point as the technological capabilities of the U.S. Coast Guard collided with the sophisticated defensive mechanisms of the Sinaloa cartel. Lieutenant Commander Sarah Rodriguez observed the emerging tactical scenario with calculated intensity, recognizing that the next moments would determine the entire mission's success or failure. The Stratton's advanced electronic warfare systems detected multiple layers of defensive communication protocols being activated by the target vessel, suggesting a level of technological preparedness far beyond standard maritime trafficking operations. Autonomous reconnaissance drones reposition themselves, creating a comprehensive multi-angle surveillance network that would eliminate any potential escape routes. The P-8 Poseidon Maritime Patrol aircraft adjusted its electronic countermeasure systems, preparing to neutralize any potential defensive electronic signatures that might compromise the interdiction operation. Thermal imaging systems revealed subtle temperature variations in the target vessel's structure, indicating potential modifications designed to evade standard detection technologies. The operational environment had transformed into a high-stakes technological chess match, where each movement carried strategic implications that extended far beyond the immediate maritime confrontation. The cartel's response triggered a complex series of technological countermeasures that demonstrated their sophisticated understanding of maritime interdiction tactics. Encrypted communication bursts suggested the presence of advanced electronic warfare capabilities integrated directly into the vessel's communication and navigation systems. The Stratton sensor arrays began a systematic deconstruction of these defensive protocols, utilizing machine learning algorithms that could predict and neutralize potential evasion strategies in real time. Lieutenant Commander Rodriguez coordinated a multi-platform response that integrated satellite surveillance, airborne reconnaissance, and shipboard tracking systems into a unified tactical network. The leadette team prepared for potential close-quarters engagement, their specialized training covering scenarios ranging from non-violent interdiction to high-intensity maritime confrontations. Advanced signal processing technologies began to map the electromagnetic landscape, revealing complex communication networks that suggested the vessel was part of a larger, more sophisticated maritime logistics infrastructure. Each technological probe and counterprobe represented a subtle battle of electronic wits, with both sides attempting to gain strategic advantage through superior information processing capabilities. The final stages of the technological confrontation approached with increasing intensity, transforming the maritime environment into a complex battlefield of electronic signals and strategic maneuvering. The autonomous reconnaissance drones detected subtle changes in the target vessel's electronic signature, suggesting the activation of secondary communication and navigation protocols designed to evade interdiction. The Stratton's electronic warfare systems responded with a sophisticated multi-layered jamming approach that would systematically neutralize these defensive capabilities. Lieutenant Commander Rodriguez understood that this operation represented more than a simple drug interdiction. It was a strategic disruption of a complex narcotics transportation network that had successfully evaded international law enforcement for years. The P-8 Poseidon aircraft maintained a strategic overwatch position, its advanced sensor packages providing continuous intelligence that would support the final stages of the interdiction operation. Thermal imaging and electronic signature analysis suggested the target vessel was carrying approximately 4.2 tons of cocaine, with an estimated street value of $127 million. The technological complexity of the confrontation had transformed the maritime environment into a high-stakes arena where information superiority would determine the ultimate outcome. And then, in the briefest of moments, an unexpected electronic signature began to emerge, a potential complication that would challenge everything they had planned and prepared for. As the maritime interdiction operation intensified, the USCGC Stratton's Advanced Electronic Warfare Systems initiated a complex multi-layered analysis of the target vessel's defensive capabilities. Lieutenant Commander Sarah Rodriguez monitored the emerging tactical data streams with surgical precision, recognizing that the next phase would determine the critical path of the entire interdiction mission. The autonomous reconnaissance drone, positioned strategically at 20,000 feet, began conducting advanced thermal and electromagnetic signature scans, revealing intricate details about the cartel's vessel communication protocols and potential defensive mechanisms. Machine learning algorithms processed multiple data streams simultaneously, cross-referencing historical trafficking patterns, satellite intelligence, and real-time communication intercepts to build a comprehensive operational intelligence profile of the target. The LEDET team's specialized electronic warfare specialists initiated advanced signal deconstruction protocols, attempting to penetrate and analyze the encrypted communication networks of the Sinaloa cartel's maritime infrastructure. Each team member, equipped with state-of-the-art tactical communication systems and advanced signal processing technologies, represented a critical node in the complex electronic interdiction strategy. The P-8 Poseidon Maritime Patrol aircraft maintained its overhead surveillance position, its advanced sensor packages providing continuous multispectral intelligence that would support potential kinetic and non-kinetic interdiction scenarios. Sophisticated algorithmic models began mapping potential vessel movement trajectories, predicting potential evasion strategies, and creating predictive intervention scenarios that would maximize the probability of a successful interdiction operation. As the electronic confrontation reached its most critical phase, the Stratton's integrated sensor systems began revealing increasingly complex layers of the cartel's technological infrastructure. The unexpected electronic signatures suggested a level of technological sophistication that transcended traditional maritime trafficking methodologies. Machine learning algorithms processed fragmentary communication intercepts, revealing potential external technological support that complicated the original operational assumptions. The maritime environment had transformed from a traditional interdiction scenario into a high-stakes technological chess match where information superiority would determine the strategic outcome. Rodriguez recognized that this moment represented more than a simple narcotics interdiction. It was a potential inflection point in understanding the evolving technological capabilities of non-state maritime actors. The lines between traditional maritime law enforcement and high-intensity technological confrontation had become increasingly blurred, with each passing moment bringing the potential for a paradigm-shifting revelation about the complex technological landscape of modern maritime security operations. As the electronic signatures continued to pulse through the tactical networks, the USCGC-STRATTON entered its most critical phase of the maritime interdiction operation. Lieutenant Commander Sarah Rodriguez observed the emerging data streams with calculated intensity, recognizing that the next moments would determine the entire mission's success or failure. The autonomous reconnaissance drone adjusted its positioning, creating a comprehensive surveillance network that would eliminate any potential escape routes for the targeted vessel. Advanced thermal imaging and electronic signature analysis revealed subtle temperature variations and defensive electronic protocols that suggested the cartel's vessel possessed technological capabilities far beyond standard maritime trafficking infrastructure. The P-8 Poseidon Maritime Patrol aircraft maintained its strategic surveillance position, its advanced sensor packages providing continuous intelligence that would support the final stages of the interdiction operation. electronic warfare systems began a systematic deconstruction of the target vessel's defensive communication protocols using machine learning algorithms capable of predicting and neutralizing potential evasion strategies in real time. Rodriguez's LEDET team prepared for multiple contingency scenarios, their specialized training covering a wide range of potential operational complications. The team's advanced encrypted communication systems ensured secure coordination between onboard teams, aerial reconnaissance, and ground command centers. The vessel's defensive electronic signatures suggested an unprecedented level of technological sophistication. Initial algorithmic analysis revealed encrypted communication patterns that implied external technological support beyond the Sinaloa cartel's standard operational capabilities. This unexpected variable introduced a multi-layered complexity that challenged the mission's original operational assumptions. Advanced signal processing technologies began mapping the electromagnetic landscape, revealing complex communication networks that suggested the targeted vessel was part of a broader, more sophisticated maritime logistics infrastructure. The maritime environment had transformed from a simple interdiction scenario into a complex technological chess match where information superiority would determine the strategic outcome. As the electronic confrontation reached its peak, the Stratton's electronic warfare systems engaged in a sophisticated dance of technological probing and counter-probing. Machine learning algorithms processed incoming data streams, attempting to construct predictive models that could provide insights into the emerging technological scenario. In these critical moments, the operation transcended a simple narcotics interdiction. It represented a potential inflection point in understanding the evolving technological capabilities of non-state maritime actors. The lines between traditional maritime law enforcement and high-stakes technological confrontation had become increasingly blurred, with the next few moments poised to reveal whether the United States Coast Guard's technological arsenal could successfully neutralize this sophisticated maritime threat. The maritime interdiction operation represented a critical turning point in modern technological warfare, revealing the complex landscape of 21st century security challenges. Lieutenant Commander Sarah Rodriguez and her USCGC Stratton team demonstrated how technological supremacy now determines international security operations, transcending traditional maritime interdiction models. The unexpected electronic signature exposed a multilateral technological arena where non-state actors like the Sinaloa Cartel possess sophisticated capabilities that rival governmental forces. Advanced signal processing, data fusion, and machine learning systems have transformed from mere tools into a dynamic intelligence ecosystem capable of real-time adaptation and strategic decision-making. This operation unveiled a new geopolitical paradigm where technology becomes an active participant in conflict resolution. The boundaries between state and non-state actors blur as technological capabilities become the primary currency of strategic power. Each sensor, algorithm, and autonomous platform represents a neural network processing information at unprecedented speeds, challenging traditional understanding of maritime security and operational intelligence. The Stratton's mission was more than a narcotics interdiction. It was a glimpse into the future of global conflict, where technological supremacy, adaptability, and information processing speed will determine the balance of power. In this new landscape, the lines between warfare, technological competition, and strategic intelligence have become irrevocably interconnected. As the maritime horizon continues to evolve, one thing becomes clear: the future of security is not defined by traditional boundaries, but by the to process, adapt, and respond in real time.